I will. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll post-credit show.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. We're good. We're good. We're good. I've got this. Welcome to the post-credit show where we talk about games we've played. Talk about.
What did he say?
We talk.
We hawk. Hawk talk.
Talk about the games and movies we do.
Where we talk about games we've played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done.
Yeah. That.
I've got it down. I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brian.
I was waiting for that.
Why do you keep switching? Not doing anything. You're doing
it takes a while.
Profile. That's why.
I've done it before. It takes a while.
I know, it's dumb sometimes. There we go.
Yeah. Anywho.
Welcome. I can go. I mean, I'll just keep writing my list as I go. But
Okay.
I have my list down.
then go list hard.
Go, Chris.
Fine.
Go list. Go hard list. List hard.
Well, I guess we can start with... No, we'll end with that. I played some Dishonored. Again.
Yeah, you did.
What the hell point am I at on that now? I beat the second level. I think I'm on the third one. I keep taking the route of not the non-lethal ways of doing things, which makes it a little more, adds a little bit more of a challenge to it. Which I think the last one was I had to just torture an art dealer for some information.
Nice.
And get his safe combination and go pass it off to someone else. And those other people will deal with the people I need to deal with.
Nice.
So it added a little bit of a different side of things. It's still a good game.
It's a fun game.
See where I go from there.
I don't think I ever played the second one, but the first one I enjoyed.
No, I eventually I will get to the second one, but that's who knows when.
Who knows when?
Then I also actually went back onto my Switch finally.
Yeah.
After probably months of being absent. Downloaded a few games, one of which was the Phoenix Wright trilogy.
Nice.
Objection!
Nice.
Yes. I am luring?
We just can't talk today. Oh, man.
Lawyering it up.
Lawyering
I had
it
to slow down there.
That's why I had my sip of coffee before.
I have water. It doesn't help. It's a puzzle game and I like puzzle games.
It is definitely a puzzle game in the form of a weird anime Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched little snippets of video, and he's very in the videos. He's very like objection and all that. It's amazing how much he's not. He's he's
the
quite anime type thing where he's
very meek. Yeah.
That kind of down on himself
until he gets that moment of inspiration, and that's where objection, and you're like, yeah!
Trying to figure out the twist of how to.
And sometimes those are tough, where it's like, because
the first kind of the tutorial was. Yeah. It took me a little bit, but I'm like, wait, the time's off.
Right.
But eventually I got it. The second one was even. It's only like the second level, and it's like, oh my god, wow. Yeah.
Well, and sometimes you can tell they're lying because their eyes get shifty or something like. Yeah.
We're not doing that again. I'm not doing that.
It was L.A. Noire before L.A. Noire was a game. But this game there is a more obvious thing to it.
Is there?
Yeah. Oh. You'll be able to tell most of the time, or when you got them on the ropes, all of a sudden they change.
I was trying to read it. And try and do it that way.
I know. You can do both. But that's the piece. It's wonky, man. Those games are nuts. They're fun though.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a puzzle game, and I like my puzzles.
On the the DS, I think when it first came out on the DS, because there's a microphone, you could actually yell objection.
I'm good.
Objection.
You could be sitting on the bus, and you're like objection, and he, and you're like
yeah. Everyone on the bus is like,
what?
You're just staring at the screen. Yes, got him.
The only thing I would say I don't like about it is that there's always that opening thing.
Oh yeah.
That shows who it is. So
far. Oh, sort of, yeah.
Well, in the tutorial, is that guy with the dot in his middle of his forehead. I'm like, okay. So once he comes to the stand,
It's how to figure out how to get them.
Yeah, it's knowing that who it is already. And it's like
that series.
That's kind of my thing. That's my only gripe with it, I guess, would be I don't want to know who did it. I want to try and figure this out myself.
Yeah.
The Apollo Justice series comes after Phoenix Wright series, and it opens with Phoenix Wright being on trial.
Ooh.
I know. Like, that series goes all over it is nuts.
Yeah, this trilogy was obviously 3 games.
Yeah.
For like $30, I believe.
30 or 40, something like that.
I think
35.
40.
Something weird.
Yeah. So,
Either way,
it's try it out. Why not? It's 3 games.
Yeah, I have the trilogy on. I think on my 3DS. But yeah, like legitimately, it is. It's a fun series if you've never played it before.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I also dabbled in some Cuphead.
Me too.
Because, us PlayStation people have been wanting this game.
Is it on a PlayStation? No.
It was Xbox exclusive for a while.
Oh.
A long while. It was just on the PC and Xbox.
Yeah,
And then
so
it finally made it to the Switch.
Yeah.
Yes, just recently it's come over to the Switch. I'm only in World 1.
Yep.
I'm not finding it overly difficult.
It's not aggravatingly difficult.
I'm dying lots,
Yep.
but it's like, okay, I screwed up. I gotta try it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
I think that's the beauty of like, we tried it here the one time. Tony and I were playing it on the computer. And I think co-op was a little bit harder. Just because there's all of a sudden a second person you've got to be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to try and like hit them to save them, and you're trying to like follow what they're doing and that kind of thing. Not knowing what the game was when I first hopped into it, like it wasn't, Mario beat 3 levels, beat a boss, do that, or something like that. It's legitimately like, oh,
Jump into a boss fight.
This is a boss fight level. This is a this level. This is a that level, and it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, then learning. That's what it is. The boss fights are you're gonna die lots.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out the movements of a boss.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about it like yesterday with you with in the first world where that blimp lady.
Yeah.
Where it's okay. This is what she's turned into now. Oh, the things are following me. Okay, gotta swerve around.
Right.
It's just figuring it out, and then she turned into a moon, and I wasn't paying attention to the UFOs, and I got hit by a beam. Like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. That's some of the bosses that are in World 2 right now. There's one lady, and I finally got through her cronies because I switched up my power, like my subset power thing.
Yeah.
So I had it so I would automatically parry.
Okay.
Then I've now switched to my dash makes me invincible, which is good. So that's helped me with that boss, but she does. She's kind of like Queen of Hearts-esque, like off with your head sort of character.
Uh-huh.
And she retreats back into her castle, and her castle has eyes, and it's very like old-esque animation. That whole jazz. Game. And then she sends out like monsters made out of candy. So like there's the what are those things that candy corn. So there's a candy corn monster. There's like a waffle that comes out and something else. There's a jawbreaker, and you don't know which ones you're gonna get, but you only have to fight 3 of them.
Yeah. And
then after you fight 3 of them, it looks like you're just petting the microphone because she's directly behind it.
Oh.
You
see your nose now?
Yeah,
oh,
but it's 3 random ones, so you finally get used to killing a waffle.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, a cupcake comes out instead of a waffle.
Oh.
And it's randomized as to how they come out. So it's like, oh no. So I finally got through the 3 of them. Then she's on top of the castle shooting me with a bazooka as the castle moves towards me. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I feel like the longer that game goes, because that's World 2, is the boss fights just get more erratic and crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you have to really be on your toes.
Yeah, and like I said, in World 2, there's a fountain that gives you a limerick and then tells you how many times you've died.
I'm not going to go to that fountain.
I didn't know that's what the fountain did, so I clicked on it going, like, what do you do? Because I went to something in World 1, and it gave me an extra, like, power boost to my super. So I'm like, oh, cool, that's neat. That's maybe what this fountain is. So I clicked on the fountain, and it was like, blah, 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 da-da-da-da-da. You've died 53 times, and whatever else the ending of the limerick was, and then sent me off, and I'm like, oh, 53, huh? Damn. My kill-death ratio is off.
Well, that's true. Probably mine too. That's why I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's a solid game though, and it looks so pretty.
But I guess kind of speaking of kill to death or
Kill
death
to
ratios.
shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill.
Shoot to
Shoot
kill.
to kill or sit and wait.
Sit and wait.
I like to sit and wait. We've all been doing the Call of Duty. We've been called to our duty.
We've been calling our duty.
Except last night.
Except last night, someone couldn't get called to his duty.
Yeah. Apparently everyone has it. So you said multiple people had that issue?
There was more people reporting it last night than usual. So.
Okay.
So you weren't the only one.
The only one. I
But
wasn't
other
crazy.
than that, pretty much every night we've been playing Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
We're getting better. We're getting a lot better.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depends on the game. It really depends on the game.
Like the map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we could go, like, I've been 14-0.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and have, like, a 3-20 match.
Yeah.
It really depends on
Really does depend, yeah.
It depends on sometimes you just get in a zone. Like there was one map we were playing at some point this week, and I don't know how many kills I ended up with, but legitimately I was sitting there and all of a sudden I finally died,
Yeah.
and I'm going check my kill count. And it's like 16-1. I'm going
Yeah.
like I barely remember getting them other than it was like yes I am doing well.
Yeah.
I am doing like it's like I had
killed-
that out of
I
body
killed.
experience where someone else took over and it was just like I need that to happen more often.
Yeah. There was one game where I killed a guy. I think I had 13 kills in that game.
No, you killed him 13 times out of your like.
No, I had 13 kills.
Oh, okay.
And he was probably about 8 or 9 of those kills.
Yeah.
Why isn't he learning?
That's exactly my word.
That's
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, I wonder if he'll learn. Nope.
No.
I wonder if he'll. Nope.
There it is again. I did not learn at all.
And that's the big piece to that game. Like we've talked about that before. Is I think that's why I'm finding Call of Duty less frustrating is because legitimately, one, playing with you guys helps. Two is it's that game where it's multiple ways to get places.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if one way's not working, like stop trying to battering ram that door down and just go in the window.
somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's taking that second to go. Okay, that's not working. I've died, 3 times.
Gotta do something
Instead
else.
of going left out the door, time to go right.
Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah.
And again, that's where knowing the maps helps and all of that jazz. So.
Yeah.
Which we are.
Which we're getting there.
Where'd you get in there? Yeah.
There's only a couple still that
Yeah.
I used to play this game all the time, but it's trying to remember where everything is.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
people mostly camp and.
Well, even that's changed though. Like that
Yeah.
wet works level
Yeah.
that I was talking about with
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy. I never used to snipe at that. I was always a run around the corner and go as fast as I can.
Yeah,
You wanna
That's
get
why I
into
had that submachine gun, is because I'd be able to hip fire that
Yeah.
and just keep running.
Yeah.
I've changed it up now, where I'm sitting back and just
Yeah.
who can I pick off? Pretty much.
Yeah. I know.
It's different. And then kind of the last thing we were playing together,
Yeah.
we did
Yeah.
last night for the first time,
We did.
was some Conan.
Conan Exiles.
Which I've now dived into. Okay, let's build stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how do you like it?
It's frustrating, especially with those stairs last
That game,
Stairs.
again, that game it's super
It's
frustrating
quite-
when it comes to building things. You kind of have to find the weird, so you got to the bottom of the steps pretty much, and we're like, no! And then we tried building a foundation, and we had to build it
to the
to-
side,
to the left, and then forward, and then down, and then
then-
off to the, and then we could build
and
the
then
steps.
bring it back up,
And then bring it
we
back
could
up.
just destroy the other stuff
Yeah.
slowly. Not everything is.
And that's what that's what we've discovered with Conan is you kind of have there's workarounds to things,
Yeah.
and you just have to figure some of them out.
So I was in charge of stairs.
Yeah.
You
I got
were in
walls
charge
up.
of walls. You were in charge of food.
I did food and I just kept
I
doing
wasn't
like
paying attention to what
stone
Brian was
and
doing.
stone and wood. And I kept putting it in the box. I don't know. I feel like mine wasn't very helpful.
Food. I told you I was hungry. And I come back and there's like 10 steaks on them.
Oh yeah, and then you got chased by a guy and I helped you kill him. Well,
Yes.
Nick came too.
Because I didn't have a sword.
Yes.
That's my
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
I didn't have a
And Nick
sword.
had a giant sword. And other
Yes.
giant things.
They're not giant. They're actually not.
Well, they looked.
To
They
sum
were-
that up, we found out the nudity is
Partial. Partial.
a little
nudity.
more restricted in North America.
Yes.
Yes.
So you guys could not. I made a female character,
Yes.
so she could be half naked. You guys, unfortunately, could not.
We can see our butts.
You could not You could not wangle around. As such. No, I did not put that slider all the way up because again, I did not want to have them get in the way.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Again, that was actually that thought process when because Brian and I have played Conan Exiles on the PC, and legitimately, like there's a slider, and you sit there going, I feel like that's too long for combat.
Yeah.
Like it's an easy
These are
target.
like just climbing. It was
Sure,
like, this is in my way.
it gets in your you go to climb, and it's like a third leg.
Things are gonna
you're
get
just like,
cut.
it's not gonna be nice.
Slivers.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't even want to imagine.
Yeah. So we started that.
we started on an actual server. 'Cause
Brian's server.
No, we started on an actual server.
Yeah.
We started
We
on.
didn't pay that much though.
No, because there's official servers, but they're locked and we can't change anything
Yeah.
on them.
Okay.
If you pay for a server, you can change a lot of the rules and this and
Okay.
that and everything else.
So bought it.
You can not necessarily mod it, but there's just like an admin panel that you can change stuff on. So
Yeah.
like he was trying to get us to level up faster.
Yeah. Don't do that.
You've never played on a WoW server, have you? Like a fake one.
No,
Yeah.
never.
Okay, so this is how it progresses. In WoW, you start in the starting area.
Yeah.
By the time you left the starting area, you were about level 20.
Oh gosh.
So the story progression just dies.
Just dies.
So that's the piece. It's like, it's fun having the challenge of not being like we don't want to be super barbarian.
Oh, I died twice.
You did die twice, but now we have bedrolls and a house. So we got.
We gotta see if we can jump back in. That's
our next challenge. Is
Yeah,
yes,
see
if
if we
we
Yes.
if Brian
Because
starts
we
the game
created
and we
a
hit go.
co-op game.
Yes.
So it's not a server. It's
Yeah. So
Well,
it's more like Brian's game.
It's
Yeah.
Brian's game and we're jumping into it. So
Yeah.
if we play and he can't, that is now the game.
I don't think
like
we would.
I don't think we would, but that's the piece. Is like all three of us have to.
to
I
play.
think the more people we have, the better or faster we can build.
Yes, that's what we
Huge
found
one.
too in a lot of these building games.
Yes, the more people you have.
Now
the
we just need to
better.
get one more on there. And I think he said this morning that
He said
he's a no-go.
Never.
No, he said no go because there was no full nudity. That was the joke.
Oh, I
That
thought you
was-
meant
I
No,
think
that
it's
was-
past the freeness too. I don't think it's free anymore.
it's
He
this
got
month.
it already.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll try and convince him when he comes back.
I don't think there's a lot of convincing. Legitimately,
He
that was
could be.
the.
I don't know what he'd be in charge of, but
From what I understood, there was the process of we couldn't have your dongle out, so he
Yeah.
was like no go. I believe that's where that comment fit into the
I have to
conversation.
reread it.
Ah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was late.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really late. We don't
stayed up
usually
for
stay
quite a
up
bit.
that late for a game,
Well, and only because we started on an official
That's so
server,
enthralled.
and it was so messed up.
and the server there was no place to build because like clearly, like Chris is thinking that one guy took over the beaches with those small buildings.
Yeah, so that no one else could.
To claim his space because like when we were building
And
in
he
our
even
place.
said that in his little
Yeah, like
signs
I-
that he
That
said.
I never got to see.
If you
Legends.
start building, claim what's yours.
Yeah.
And I think my theory was that those small houses were his just to block up the area.
to claim.
Claim the area, yeah.
So that eventually he'll expand and just take up the whole river.
I feel like that's so
But that's the point of it.
selfish.
But that's the point. So then you have to join his clan.
His empire.
His empire.
No,
So,
thank you.
but either way, when we started the co-op game, when we did start building on that ledge, every time I'd come back to that ledge, it's like you're now entering like the territory of BrNN. And it's like, oh, that's what he was doing. We just never left his territory to have it show up.
To show
going,
the something else, yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever remember it saying.
It didn't
It
say
never
anything.
did. It never did. We were always in that one guy's territory. Must have been.
Pancake. Stop.
What?
She's
I do.
giving you this face like,
She's been foraging in our house for things, and it's like we feed you. But yeah, Conan Exiles, it's a
it's a
It's a
game.
game.
it's a game. It's fun with people when you're just being stupid.
Because we
Yeah.
try to burn each other. And
Yeah. Like Brian was building the balcony and I walked up behind him and kicked him
Tried
in the I kicked him in the
Yeah,
butt
you
and
tried
he
to kick me
almost
off.
fell off.
Tried to kick me off.
well, you guys were sword fighting, and I just come up behind him and tried to light
Yeah.
him on fire.
You make your own fun in some
I
of
broke
those
my
games.
torch doing that.
Whatever. You make your own fun in those games and you have to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Until you get to the point where we can start running some dungeons and doing some
Well, I was
bad
looking at
stuff.
I was looking at the trophy list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what most of it is defeat this,
Yeah.
this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there's a creature on the island next door to us that is absolutely huge.
Is it?
Yeah.
We don't know how to wake it up.
And we've never tried to wake it up.
Well, I hit it once.
Did you?
And you were like, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. Don't do that. And then I did.
Well, some of those beasts
nothing
will need
happened.
more than one whack to wake it up, I found.
Okay, I did not want to
Like
whack
those
him.
giant turtle
No, this
things.
guy's like almost the size of the island he's on.
Yeah.
He's like right next to
Is this
us.
giant
We'll
like
get it.
tree like?
I know we'll get it.
We'll build our fortress up and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Build a
First
catapult
hit.
on ours inside.
No,
Get-
don't do that. Don't sacrifice the house.
Get Chris an actual weapon, not just a torch.
I think I built a stone sword at the end.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I thought you gave him a sword.
No,
No, that was on the server.
Oh, I see.
The one time he died and he was really far away, and I'm like, I'll pick up your stuff, and then I left like stone and wood because I'm like, whatever, we'll just
Well,
rebuild
that's
this.
fine.
And then I think I left anything heavy because all of a sudden I was over encumbered, and I'm like, whatever, I'll just leave this because we can recollect it. And then I found you, and I'm like, well, here's your clothes, and I'm like, here's an extra sword that I have because I have my big two-hander now, so it's like, what up?
Yeah.
What up?
That's why when we started playing again, I'm like, I'm gonna make a female character because it's gonna look really cool with like, because they still have like the muscle definition,
Yeah.
but they are very much of a skinnier build than the dudes.
Yeah,
So her being that skinny with the big sword,
It's very
I'm
anime.
very anime, very
what's
Final
what's
Fantasy.
her name in that? There's a female character in the Conan universe.
Ooh.
Red Sonja?
I can't help you. I
I
don't.
want to say Red Sonja.
I don't know, Conan.
I pray to the god of Ymir.
The serpent one.
No, I'm the frost giant guy.
I just picked one randomly because I didn't know.
Oh, it tells you like.
Well, I know what it does.
Oh, okay,
but
you're
it's just I
poisoned in
don't
something
care.
else. That's essentially the piece. So when we started playing again on the PC, I went with no religion because I'm like, I pledge fealty to no god,
God.
and then you get no powers, and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake.
I wish to pray to a god. Anybody?
And you can't start praying to other gods. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and you can
It
learn
does
other
exist.
religions
Yeah.
too that
Which
aren't
one are
in the
you?
first. I don't know. It was the first one that was like healing and.
Oh, he's our paladin. You're our rogue.
Okay.
And you're the.
I make ice powers. I'm Frozone.
So we're gonna have three
I'm
different.
Elsa.
We're gonna have three different god statues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to find a place to like build a church.
This is mine.
I build it on the very top of our.
We've tried that; it doesn't quite work.
Sure it will. I'll make it work.
He has the same plans as us. See, we've.
I'll make it work.
There's just this weird statue monument on the top of the weird statue monument, and he's like,
I will climb it.
"It's gonna be really hard to execute this guy, like dragging you."
Dragging a guy all the way up.
Sure.
So
Sacrifice.
some of them do require sacrifices. Some of
I
them
don't
just
think mine
require you
does.
to do donations and that kind
Yeah.
of
I
stuff.
don't know if it does.
You find out once you build the altar.
Oh,
It will require specific things from
Things
you.
for you.
so well, I guess we'll see eventually.
Yeah, and then we have to learn to cook a little bit better so we can carry more food with us.
We
and
don't.
Water sacks. Yeah,
We don't.
someone has to learn how to cook better.
Cake.
Yeah, the dog.
I need to get dogs.
We can get animals.
Yes,
we
you can get
pets.
animals,
Yeah, we can
yeah.
get pets.
I
We
want
can
a
get
hyena.
mounts now. 2 mounts are in the game.
I want a hyena.
I thought they couldn't get mounts.
No, mounts are in the game.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
want
the
a
last
hyena.
update. You can't ride a hyena.
Yes, you can.
You can't ride a
I
hyena.
can. I don't say it as a
Watch
mount.
me.
I want it as a pet.
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure if
I
you get
want
it
a
as a
wolf.
pet, but you can get it to. There was wolves.
Yeah.
Because that guy on the beach had a wolf
Had a
just
wolf.
randomly standing on the
tiger.
beach. Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's
he had
also
a tiger.
We've run into tiger. Well, I know where to find tigers. Don't
Yeah,
you?
we don't
fret.
know how to find tigers.
I want a tiger.
I don't know where
I want a
wolves
moose.
must be north. There's no moose. There are no moose. Either way, it's not something we'll stream, but maybe we can take some screenshots and share some of like our building that we've been doing,
Well, we could if we wanted.
and we could stream. I just have to change some things.
Well, or I could.
But
Or you could stream.
I could.
I know.
I could take care of the PS4 streaming.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, before we stream anything from that game, we have to change the partial to no, none, and
But it'd be from my view, though. If I did it, it'd be from my view, and I can't see anything.
when we
anyways.
relog back in, things are going to change.
Okay. We should log back in.
Ooh, we should.
In the settings, did you set it to partial when you made your
I
character?
don't know.
Because, yeah, it should.
There,
It'll
I saw all those, and it's kind of how I go with those create your own character stuff. It's, okay, I'll start out, I'll do this in depth, and then I start looking at the long list, and I'm like, this is too much work.
For the guy, I remade my guy when I started the chick, like my female character.
The only thing I took care of was made sure the beard matches the hair.
I always do that, but then, like, yeah, no, the girl it was set up in such a way where I'm like, I'm good with this. I actually like this is good, and that doesn't normally happen on most creative character
No.
things. I'm like, oh god,
what did they do to you?
yeah.
But yeah, that was the last thing we played, and then I watched a couple movies.
Yep.
First was Night School with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
And I can't remember
I like Kevin Hart.
other people's names.
No, but there's
Fat
some
Joe.
people in it. Yeah, there's some people in that movie. There's a pretty good cast.
Why can't I remember her name now? Something Haddish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, funny
good movie.
Yeah. I like the they kind of try and set up a love triangle, but they throw it on, they put it on its head sort of. Yeah. Yeah. I know you love me, and it's like I'm a lesbian, and it's like, oh, and I'm like I actually liked that because they do that in so many movies where it's just like, oh, now they're creating, drama where there doesn't have to be drama because there's another female involved for this guy to, and then the girlfriend or whatever does seem to be like there's issues obviously, so it's like, oh well, this lady's nice, so clearly we're gonna shift, and then there's no shift. It's just legitimately
he just wins her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, it's a Kevin Hart movie, so a lot of short jokes.
A lot of short jokes. Yeah.
A lot of short jokes.
I love
He's
Kevin
in
Hart.
our province right now.
Yes, he is.
I think they're filming Jumanji here.
They are. They're filming Jumanji in the mountains.
Near Calgary.
So I assume it's going to be some snowy stuff.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
They're showing pictures off already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because Karen Gillan gets to wear pants
she's
instead of
excited.
the shorts.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I would suggest seeing it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think we rented it. It was a fun movie to rent.
And then yesterday, because I had the day off, I also watched Split.
Ah, yes.
The second of the M. Night Shyamalan Unbreakable trilogy.
Superpower.
I forgot I did watch that as well.
Did you read that? Did you watch it?
Split? Yeah.
Yeah, good movie.
It's a good movie. I liked it.
It really explains his power.
Yes.
Which is, it's different, it makes sense.
Yeah. He did a really good job acting all those different
Yeah, but it
personalities.
said 26.
Yeah. They obviously don't
But
show all.
You see,
like,
there's like three main ones.
yeah.
Right.
But and they kind of explain why you only see.
Well, they're the dominant personality sort of thing, or.
They're.
How do I word it with?
Yeah.
Never mind. I'll watch it on my own.
There's a
on
raisin.
Oh, it is on Netflix.
It's to I guess kind of sum it up briefly. Each personality has a different belief.
Yes.
Cool.
About a certain thing.
Yep.
And that's some are being shunned because of it.
Neat.
Some are not.
Cool. Good work. Because now I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but I'm intrigued.
But even split personality, I wonder if there's some truth to the split personality stuff, because they even talked about how different personalities, the body adjusts.
Oh yeah.
And so it takes on a different. So, because one of the ladies there talked about one of the patients she worked with. I don't think the one the person.
Yeah.
But in one where it's a diabetic.
Yeah.
And has to take the shots.
Has to take insulin
When
shots.
that personality's out.
Yeah.
Weird.
But then
But
the
when
other
it's
personality, she's not
it's,
diabetic.
It doesn't. The body doesn't physically change like that.
I wonder.
The mind is a strong thing.
Yeah.
Well, sure, it controls. Yeah, intriguing.
But that explains some of
how he can do certain things. Because I've seen the trailers. I know he can and especially the trailers for Glass. He's climbing walls and stuff. Okay, he's actually got some juice. Neat. Yeah, that's an intriguing one. Because I know, from what I do know of like the split personality thing, is some of them can be a more meek kind of thing, so they will get repressed by the other personalities.
Yeah.
And the other personality legitimately has to allow one of them to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a wonky one, man.
But it could be just a superpower thing, really.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, and in the world of
Well, because Bruce Willis has his
Right.
I'm invincible,
yeah,
and then
His
in
Luke
Glasses
Cage
is just
power.
super smart.
yeah, Reed Richards' power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the cameo. It's really, if you didn't watch Unbreakable,
Yep.
you
You're not missing
You wouldn't,
much.
yeah.
well, I wouldn't say you missed much, but you don't
You have no idea what it's
what it
referencing
means.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you watched Unbreakable, so you're good.
I watched it when it first came out 800 years
On
ago.
on
Watch it again
VHS.
if you want.
I'm good. Yeah, I did watch it on VHS.
If you know how it ends,
yeah, I remember
you'll
how it
catch
ends.
what the
Alright.
reference means.
Alright.
Yeah, I thought it was once again good movie. It's
Cool.
on Netflix. Go watch.
Fine then.
It's free.
Fine. Maybe I will.
I wouldn't say it's free. You pay.
It's kind of free.
I don't pay for Netflix. I just ignore the fact that I pay for Netflix.
Yeah, it just comes off.
Exactly. Netflix at this point is just like taxes on my
Yeah, it's
my
just
paycheck.
tax.
I don't. It just comes off.
Union fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, my union. It's a union due,
It's a
really.
union due.
And then the last thing was Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
The only person at the table
Yep.
who's seen it and will see it.
You never know, you might want.
I might catch up at some point, but in terms of this is the last season, you're the
Yes.
only one who is going to be able to talk
You're
about
watching
it.
Yeah.
it. Talk about it every week. Every year.
And if he's
do you
not,
own
we
them?
won't talk.
Like, do you own any of them?
Yeah, he owns all the seasons.
Maybe I'll borrow them from you
All 7?
and start.
You can, if you pay for Crave, you can stream them all.
Yes. Which to my brother, we tried that.
Yep.
And we found out the 7th season isn't on Crave.
Not yet.
So he's like, oh, so we can't watch season 8 on this.
No.
Probably not.
No.
So
Probably not, yeah.
my brother went out of his way to go download HBO for 2 months,
Oh yeah.
and then we will cancel.
Yeah. And that's how
how you do it.
HBO works, though, because what they try and do is they get you on Game of Thrones, and then they're like, watch this other show
Yeah.
that we
Watch
have.
There's that other one I
Watch
watched.
this Ballers
Yeah.
show.
There's that. Is it Westworld or?
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, Westworld's
I
on there,
want
too.
I want to. That one sounded interesting.
But those seasons are very. It's been a long time.
Oh.
It's been a couple of years actually for since
the
season
next
1.
season.
Or no, season 2 came out. not too
I don't
long
I
ago.
think so.
remember.
I don't know. Either way, Crave has most of the HBO stuff if you want to catch up on shows.
Ah.
If you're wanting to watch newer episodes, obviously you got to subscribe to
just-
the
or you
HBO
could just-
I just borrow
Poor.
from.
or Borrow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring a bag and you can just,
Okay.
here you go.
Sounds good.
Here's your project for the next
Well, that's what I was with Crave.
4
I was
months.
kind of excited because I'm like, oh, The Sopranos are on here, and I caught the tail end of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Because I was too young when The Sopranos came out to like watch The
Yeah, yeah.
Sopranos. And my mother always talked about The Sopranos and how much she loved The Sopranos, and I'm like, can I watch The Sopranos? No, you cannot watch The Sopranos. And like the first episode I watched of The Sopranos is Tony Soprano sitting in a car, and he's like, ugh! And I'm like, and she's like, oh, maybe he's having a stroke because he's prone to apparently having like heart attacks.
Yeah.
And it's like the season opener and da da da. No, there was just another woman in the car
Yeah.
down below, and I'm like, oh, this is why I couldn't watch the show. I understand now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get this. And as I'm sitting there with my mother watching, you know, him get a blowjob, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
But yes, so it was the premiere.
Yes, it was,
Uh,
and all of them
the
died.
shortest episode.
It was the shortest
it's
episode.
The shortest episode of this 6th season. Well, they've increased episode 3's time now by like 20 minutes.
Wow.
I heard some people were disappointed with the first episode.
Well, 'cause
There
no
wasn't
one-
much going on. It was more of
You
a
have to set
here's what's
stuff up,
Like
happening.
a big
Yeah.
trailer for the next.
Well, it's. I think the trailer is a little misleading, to be honest. I think it's going to lead into why the episode 3 is so big.
I see.
Because there is supposed to be one episode this season where it's nothing but fight,
Right.
which is something totally new.
And you have to set up for something like that. You can't just have.
Just like everyone fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So I assume that's what the second episode is going to be.
Yeah.
Is just more of a build-up. So
There's a lot of episodes that are just build-up episodes. Like from what I've watched, there are those episodes where you're watching.
episode
going,
9 is always the
Yeah, the big fight.
because the big event
Yeah.
happens, and then the last episode of the season is kind of
Dealing with the fallout of
this
yeah.
is what happened. Oh, really?
Because yeah, that's the whole point to game. It's a political show.
In a
There's
weird
lot,
way.
There's
yeah.
a lot of setup, and then sometimes someone gets stabbed,
Yeah.
or a lot of people get stabbed. But like that's what I found with the first season is it's like okay, I'm getting to know these guys and how like they would rule or this person would rule and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da. Like you're getting to that point where you're like, oh okay, cool. But yeah, there's episodes where you can't sleep through it because there's important information, but you could just
Yep.
legitimately listen to it and be all right. Because there's a lot of it that is just, talking. But again, the sets are beautiful. The costumes are great. The actors are really good at their job. So it's not like you would want to listen to it and only listen to it. But you could, there's certain episodes, be like, okay, this is where everybody's sitting right now and what they're doing. Cool.
Yeah. There's not many episodes where there's a lull.
No.
I guess. There's always something going on.
Yeah. Because they got it. They have to set up.
Yeah.
All
and
of
being
the
the final season, you got to kind of get things wrapped up.
Yeah.
And everything.
This is where the last season goes. And especially because there's no book to go off of for...
But they know the ending, how it's going.
They know, yeah. He's obviously told them how he wants it to end, so at least the ending kind of comes together.
Martin even said that the ending is different from what the book is.
And that's not surprising. But at the same time, even fans at this point, you have always had a book and then the show.
For the last 2 or 3 seasons, we haven't had a book to go off of.
Okay. Yeah. So...
Is he still gonna write the books?
Oh yeah, he's working on.
But they're gonna obviously be different than.
Well, he's only got one book
because
left.
There are different things going on.
Yeah.
Well, and they were different right from the bat almost. You guys were telling me that one time.
No, the first season was actually pretty.
I know, and I think it was season 2 where
it started going a little bit.
Arya, who's the youngest.
Yes.
And then all the stuff happening with her was way more in depth and involved. And, but that's the piece is like the show went into more of that as opposed to what the book.
Like as an example, the thing that kind of I would say the biggest disappointment with the show is there is a big character in the books is left out.
Oh, really?
Been completely left out of the show.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
Tom Bombadil.
Yes. Well, it depends if you watch. Depends where you've watched up to.
I forgot now.
I could tell you because I don't know if you ever read the books either.
No, I've tried.
I don't want to ruin it for
the books that I can't read.
They're good books.
I've tried, like on 3 separate occasions. I can't get through.
Is it the chapter jumping?
No, it's
the way he writes.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's the talking without me knowing exactly what's going on. There's one part where Sean Bean's sitting under a tree talking to his wife, and I'm like, I don't know what you people are talking about, and you're going on for another, I don't know how many pages, and I got through it, and I'm like, I'm not doing this for another rest of the... It's like the Lord of the Rings. I can't read them.
Yeah. Because every blade of grass.
I've read The Hobbit.
Because they sing so much.
I've read The Hobbit 20 times. I love the songs. But when, they're walking and they're like, the mountain to their right had 3 peaks, 2 covered with snow. 1 was a partial, the rocks were gray. And this blade of grass that he stepped on was yellow. And it's like, how long are they walking?
Thank you for.
Forever.
50 pages. Makes for a really good screenplay book because you can, actually put the sets exactly how,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't read it.
Yeah, some of the differences they have from the book, though, are good.
Sure.
Like, there is one where one of the characters is talking to someone else in a different language.
Yeah.
And in the book, she understands. Whereas they're talking, and in the book, it's because it's from her point of view. And she's thinking, okay, he's talking. He thinks I don't know what he's saying, and blah blah blah. But in the show, it's the same situation, but the actress isn't showing it. Like she's just sitting there, stone faced, just like pretending she doesn't know. And then you find out later, she did know.
And that's how you translate that to screen really well. Yeah.
It's in some cases it's a very good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did they leave out?
I can't tell you.
I don't care.
You might.
Okay.
Well, okay. She's not on the show, so I guess it doesn't overly matter. What's her name? Caitlin Stark.
Oh, there's another Stark.
No, she's the mother.
Oh. Okay.
There's something that happens after the big event that she's involved in.
Yep.
That she becomes a bigger character that they leave her out.
Clearly becomes a dragon.
Nope. She becomes closer to what's coming towards them right now.
A werewolf.
Oh.
Yeah,
interesting.
but she can think.
Even
so she's
cooler.
not part of that group.
Nice.
A werewolf that can think.
No, it's not.
Because the guy with the flaming sword has the power to revive
zombies.
And in that case, in the book, they find her body. I'm just going to spoil it, whatever.
That's okay.
You might forget.
I'll probably
They find
forget.
her body floating,
Yep.
That guy sacrifices his own life.
Yep.
And the priest brings her back.
Intriguing.
But she can't talk because she has. So it's very grumbly. And,
Cool.
Yeah. It's a big character that those who have read the book.
Where
is she?
She's coming. Season 8.
She can't be in this. It's too far gone. It's way too far gone.
Season 8, she just pops up.
Hi, guys!
Because she captures someone that's supposed to turn on someone else in the book.
Ooh.
So we don't.
Hi, guys! I'm here! I'm a bit late!
It's a very raspy voice. She don't talk. She has to hold.
Hi, guys.
Kind of hold it there and try to talk, and you kind of try to.
Been smoking for 20 years.
Pretty much. It's one of those.
The Selma and, Simpsons kind of, yeah. Honestly, now that I've watched the show, I might try the books. Again, I like reading. Like, legitimately, I do. I love books. It's some of them I try and I can't get into. But now that I've seen the show and know more of what they'll be talking about, maybe that's the piece that I was missing. I don't know.
You never know.
I'll try again after I finish Michelle Obama's book.
That was me.
That was you?
Yeah, that's me. You got another Game of Thrones coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, you do.
Nice. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You bought Cuphead and the trilogy of the guy Phoenix Wright. I bought Cuphead and Katana Zero. It's another game that's an indie game that came out. I was expecting like action type game.
Yeah.
You still get action type game, but you actually are. You've got this weird power. So you've got a katana. You can do all the wall jumps and the slashing and the that kind of stuff. You've got all like the ninja-esque moves.
Yeah.
So what happens is the levels are actually like a sort of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
You have a limited amount of time.
Okay.
And your job is to get to either the end of the room or to the something in the room that like the objective, something like that.
The wall is following you.
Not so far.
Okay, no, it's just there was a whole bunch.
I know there's a lot of indie games that got released or are coming out.
Yeah.
I was watching the video and it's like you have to run through this, but there's a bunch of traps you have to avoid too, and the wall's coming behind you at the same time.
Nothing's come behind me so far, but what happens is like you have a limited amount of time because what you're doing is, I've reached this room, I now have to plan.
Yeah.
So you playing the level is actually you planning the level.
Okay.
And then you reach the end and you go, yeah, that'll work. And then it shows a video of you doing it, like it shows the replay of you actually doing it, which you can skip because it's like I know I just did it. So yeah, it's kind of cool in that way and then you can slow down time for a bit, which uses up a different energy bar. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
I've not played a lot of it. I played it as like I checked it out in between. Like I'm like, okay, Cuphead is getting to be, so I'm gonna just. So I went and played Katana Zero for a second to just see what it was like and what was going on. And the controls are tight. Everything's really cool. It's one of those games where it looks kind of retro-y graphics, but with the step up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my piece when these indie companies, they're trying to make games, and to do it on the cheap, you make the graphics a little bit more simple.
Yeah.
But with something like Cuphead, like that game looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
As an indie game,
Yes.
Indie game with extra money, obviously,
Art
involved.
style.
And art style is a big piece to me when it comes to this, because it's like, guys, I'm tired of playing games that look like Minecraft. I'm tired of playing games that look like the old Mario, because old Mario is nostalgic and makes me feel good because it's Mario.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're going to go with 8-bit graphics, it was like that Crossing Souls game.
Yeah.
8-bit, but still really well done.
Yeah.
Like everything looked really well, cool, so it's like it gave you that throwback feel, but advanced enough, and that's what this game feels like. So it's, because there's so many indie games where I'm like, oh, that sounds neat, and then I look at the graphics and I'm like, Centipede came out in the 80s. Like, I don't need a game that looks like Centipede anymore.
Yeah.
So even if your gameplay's stellar, I still need something there with the visuals.
I think it's part of my issue why I don't go onto the Nintendo Online stuff.
See, and I've played I love all those games.
I tried just briefly. Cause it's so brief that I don't even bother talking about it here. Yeah. The dodgeball game.
Oh.
And it's like,
that game is
what is
that game was
what
all,
is
that game
this?
was always
What is this?
Yep.
But it's also super tempting because I've never actually played the...
Try the Mario games, try the Zelda games.
The Zelda game, that's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
Because the first two are on there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to play Zelda 1, legitimately use a walkthrough to get to the dungeons.
Why?
So here's the cool piece to Zelda 1. And you can just play it however you want to, but they don't tell you where to go. And they don't stop you from getting most places. So you can actually go to Dungeon 8, like, right off the bat.
And win.
I think you actually get to a point in the dungeon that you can't pass, but it's like halfway through the dungeon.
Yeah.
So like you'll get to a
Just
dungeon.
to figure out which dungeon I want to go to first.
Well, you start with 1 and then move. But they don't tell you where 1 is. Like
but
that's
that's what the walkthrough would be, just to figure out.
Just figure out where the dungeons are.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't use it for the dungeons. Like get your way through the dungeons.
Yeah.
And find your own secrets and do all that, because legitimately, like you can spend an age just lighting bushes on fire, and one of them will lead to a fairy fountain that will increase your health. Like, that's how the original Zelda was. It was insane for the time.
So don't jump into this until I have time.
It's actually, if you know where to go, it's a short game.
Yeah.
If you don't know where to go, it's like a 40-hour experience.
Just try to figure out, like, no, not that way.
Legit, it's like, oh, I can't go. Okay, backtrack to here, go this. Oh, okay. Oh, I found a dungeon. Yeah. And as you're sitting there taking notes, because there's no other way, like in the game, to be like, okay, I can come back here anytime I want to. It's okay. It's 2 spaces over from here, 3 spaces over from there. Like old school gaming.
You're
it's
not
fine.
enticing me to play this game.
It's a fun game. Zelda 2 took a weird step, not a bad step, but a weird step. Way more RPG elements. Like when you kill enemies, you get experience. You can spend that experience to increase your health, magic, or something else. I forgot what it was, but like there's 3 things you can power up. When you're fighting bad guys, you're on side-scrolling levels.
Okay.
You're not just top-down like.
Yeah.
A lot more reading to solve puzzles.
Oh, good.
And not every. It's an 80s game, so it's not all the text is completely clear.
Oh, good.
So you have to talk to you get to the right person. They go, oh, you have to go north to this thing. So you go north to a cave, but it's pitch black, and you're like, I can't go to pitch black places without a lamp, because the lamp is what lights up the pitch black places. But you get the lamp on the other side of the cave, so it's the one pitch black cave that you can actually go down. And there's only one bad guy that hurts you, and you can kind of see him moving.
Okay.
But you wouldn't know that unless you've talked to everybody in the village that's next to the cave. Because they all give you the tiny hint that that's the place you need to go to get this done. Because that's how those games, again, were built back then, was tiny little hints that kind of were like, we're going to push you this direction if you're reading carefully enough.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
But again, it's really funny going back to those games, because you're like, it should just tell me where's the first castle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd be like the new one, though.
Yes, Breath of the Wild is actually very much a step towards how Zelda originally was.
You could end it quick.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't end Zelda 1 quick. You still had to go through all the dungeons to release the maidens or whatever it was, or get the Triforce pieces so you could go fight Ganon. But you could go any order. You could legit just go exploring, like I say, burning down bushes and that kind of, like, you could do whatever you wanted. So that's Breath of the Wild did take that cool step.
Yeah.
My thing with Breath of the Wild is Zelda 1 still had not themed dungeons, because it was still a Nintendo game, since you couldn't really theme them, but the weapons you acquired within those castles and the items you acquired still had a bearing on some of the later levels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Breath of the Wild kind of got me, was I didn't feel that I was collecting things to beat stuff. I could have just run to Ganon and beat him with a stick.
Yeah.
If I had the gumption to do so. So, either way, Katana Zero, cool game. There's some cool indies coming out on the Switch, so keep your eye out unpeeled for those. Then I watched a movie. I guess I'll go to movies and then TV. I watched Bad Times at the El Royale.
How was that?
I need to watch that.
I enjoyed it. I was not sure what to expect from it.
It seemed an interesting enough movie.
Well, so The trailers I saw a bit of.
Kind of Cabin in the Woods reminded me of.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Trailers.
that was I'm sitting there going, and again, Drew Goddard, who did Cabin in the Woods, so you're going to get that same. He directed and wrote both those movies.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the same feel of it because that's just how he shoots.
Yeah.
But going into it, I'm like, even looking at the cover, I'm like, is this a horror film? Like, what am I? So I did look up the genre before I moved in. Yeah. So it's a mystery.
Mystery thriller?
Mystery thriller-esque type flick that takes place in like 1969. So everything's older, obviously. You take cell phones out of the mix.
Yeah. All
of that jazz. And the movie pretty much opens with people arriving at the El Royale. John Hamm's character explains that he used to... It's a cool place because half of it is in California and half of it is in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's not busy anymore because apparently they lost their gambling license.
Oh.
Which crushes half of the reason for being there.
Yeah.
So that's the explanation to why no one's really there. So it's kind of, if you're passing by and you need a place to stay, that's where people go.
Yeah.
And that's the only time it sees business. Then everybody kind of gets separated into their rooms. And then the movie hits into room 1, and you get John Hamm's character.
Yeah.
And it shows his story up to a certain point. And then something happens, and then it goes room 4, or room 5, or whatever room it was.
That's cool.
And you get Jeff Bridges' character doing his thing. And then it'll hit room 3, and you get the people in that room doing their thing. And then it finally coalesces into...
a big finale.
Kind of it all... Everybody's story ends at a certain point.
Yeah.
And you find out how they all sort of connect. And then it hits into, like, it's not even a room anymore, but just characters, because not everybody has a room necessarily. And then you learn, like, where these characters came from and why they're doing what they're doing and all of that kind of stuff. And then, yes, by the end of it, it all just smooshes together into one big finale, and it's like...
Shit, it's a fan.
Yeah. And it's just like, that was intriguing in so many ways, because it's not like where I complained about Assassin's Creed not telling me the in-betweens.
Yeah.
It legitimately was, here's this character and what their motivation is to point B. Here's this person's motivation to point B. Motivation to point B, motivation to point B, however, until you get all of them to there. And then it's like, okay, now we're starting at point B, so now we're going to move this character from this point to their little story all the way to point C, and then they all coalesce again at point C with the characters that kind of came out of left field to smoosh in, and then you're just like, ah! It's the best way of explaining it without telling you what happens. But essentially, I think from what I read, even on Google Play before I bought it, was a bunch of people show up at this hotel and everybody has something to hide.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mystery.
What the trailer's been.
Yeah.
That's the mystery piece behind it, is everybody's showing up here and everybody's not on the up and up. So what's the shtick? So, and then characters at the beginning where you're like, oh, they're a jerk and I hate them. You feel bad for by the end because you've now gotten their complete story and how they ended up getting to this place. And you're like, oh, that changed my mind on that person. It's got a stellar cast. Jeff Bridges, John Hamm. Chris Hemsworth, obviously. Dakota
Fanning?
It's not Dakota Fanning. It's the lady from 50 Shades. Yes, John Johnson's daughter.
Yeah.
Who was in 50 Shades of Grey. That's where.
Yes, Dakota Johnson.
She's in it. One of the girls from Pacific Rim Uprising's in it. The one who pilots the other. She pilots one of the smaller robots in that one. She's in it. Nick Offerman's in it for all of his brief moments.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool movie. Cool flick. Well shot. Drew Goddard does a pretty good job of that, I think. Yeah. And it does. This is the second movie of his that he's written where, again, like Cabin in the Woods, everything kind of, like, there's some of those topsy-turvy moments where it's cool storytelling. And sort of cheaply done. They shot on film, which was actually an expensive thing, but it makes it look era-specific.
Yeah.
They built the actual hotel on a soundstage. So, again, expensive, but then they never really go anywhere but the hotel. So by building the hotel,
Oh, that's fine.
You're not leaving these sets.
It's a bottle episode.
You don't have
It is. It's a bottle episode of a movie. So.
Seen some of those.
But it's well done. Totally cool. I've started watching the new episodes of Sabrina on Netflix.
Yes.
Season 2.
I still haven't watched the first.
I've only seen episode 1 of season 2.
So no
Definitely.
spoilers.
I'm definitely giving into more of the witch stuff this season. Season 1 was trying to be more human.
Yeah.
Season 2 is trying to kind of be like, let's see what all this witchy stuff's about.
All right.
That kind of jazz. So
Because of the Christmas episode.
no, because of the ending to season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of pushes her in that direction a little bit more. So she's like, well, I might as well, and we'll see what happens. Again, I still don't honestly know what time period this show is set in.
Yeah.
We now have a character who's trans.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the piece is like, again, I'm not sure if it's just because they're in a small town, but obviously the mentality towards, this character who's transitioning is not good, to say the least.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is this because it's a small town? Is this because it's 19,
Or is it the States?
Is it there's so many pieces to it where you're just like, I don't...
Well, what year is it?
Right. They use astral projection a whole lot so that you don't end up needing cell phones, because if Sabrina needs to talk to someone, she can just appear in front of them.
How does she do that with her human friends then?
She can just appear in front of them.
Yeah.
Do they know?
Maybe. You should watch.
You
should watch the
show.
You should watch the Christmas special.
Okay. Just the Christmas special.
Yeah, just
right.
just the Christmas special. Oh, our camera froze.
Dog.
Yep.
You can hear our voice.
We were a legitimate podcast for a while there. How exciting! Where the heck is the extra cord? Yeah, you're lying on it.
Technical difficulties number 1.
Yeah, the original.
The original.
Live and in person.
Okay.
Then who's on my foot?
The other technical difficulties.
At least you can still hear what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
They can still hear us now too, right?
So the
They can still hear
Sabrina
it.
is so good.
Sabrina's still a solid
watch it
show.
all?
No, we've not watched it all. The last episode we watched was actually very much like Bad Times at the El Royale, where you got like snippets of stories of things happening.
Yeah, right.
Which was, and again, I'm sitting there going, and it ended up being an extra long episode because of it, which is cool that Netflix can do that kind of thing.
Yeah, they can get away with that.
They can
type
get
of
away with
stuff.
it because there's no time coding on it either, John.
Yeah.
So that part was cool. Oh dear.
Hi.
There we go. That'll fix most of it. We'll just roll with it. Good enough. There. Good job. Good job, Chris. All right. So either way, Sabrina's still a solid show.
Oh no.
You're good. It's just a tiny little thing. We'll ignore it. Look, if I click this, it'll completely disappear. We won't notice it.
I still see it.
Sabrina's still a good show. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I have caught up on 2 episodes now. So Jake and Amy celebrated their 1-year anniversary of being married.
She's not pregnant yet.
With a case station.
She's not pregnant yet.
Case station. That was what the entire episode was about. She wanted a kid and Jake does not.
Really? Him. That's surprising.
So that's what they spent. The whole episode was actually supposed to be, there's a mobster who they're trying to keep alive sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's in the hospital, so Jake has to watch him.
Yeah.
So he calls Amy and goes, listen, like, can you help me out? Like, if we haven't been able to spend that much time together because we've both been working so much.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the loophole where we can actually, like, work together. So that's why it's a case station, because or a case station, however they said it. But it's a vacation.
Vacation, but
on a
a
case.
case.
Yeah.
Vacation.
Well, except it's a case, so that's how they rolled it.
Case station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, that's how they rolled it into the episode. And then there's like this old biddy in the room next door who's like, oh, you're gonna have such cute kids, and she's racist at the same time because she says mixed babies are always the cutest. And then, Jake says something along the lines of, oh, we're not having kids. And Amy gets confused because she's pretty sure they've talked about it before.
And she was sure they were gonna have kids.
And then they hit to the flashback of having one of these one day would be fun. And Jake thinks she's talking about something else in the picture, not the kid.
All right.
So either way, that's
a very Jake thing to do.
It's very Jake. It's a good episode. And then the last episode was actually directed by the character or the guy who plays Boyle.
Oh, yes.
And it was an episode with Captain Holt's husband.
Okay, Kevin.
Kevin needs help. Something was stolen at the university he works at, and he doesn't want Raymond's help with it because the last time they all got together, Ray is the... This is how they put it in the episode. Ray is the Jake in Kevin's group of friends because he's just a cop. So while he's still intelligent, he's not with all of these university professors kind of intelligent.
Yeah.
So he got into an argument with one of the guys and ended up being wrong. So he's the Jake of that group. So either way, he feels inferior and he doesn't want, Kevin doesn't want him helping out and having to be around these people. So he asks Jake to help him out. Ends up being a pretty good episode. But yeah, the guy who plays Boyle directs it, which means he's not in the episode that much.
Who's behind the camera?
Well, because they did a behind the scenes thing on YouTube where it was, what was it like directing? He goes, well, tough because you have to be in the scene as an actor, but out of the scene as a director. So he's not really in a lot of. It was very much, more Jake and
Jake.
Kevin. And then my wife and I have also been watching MasterChef Junior. Junior. We watch the kids cook things.
Yeah.
And bake things because it's less infuriating when they screw something up and way more impressive when they pull off.
When they pull off the stuff they do, oh man, yeah.
Well, because adults, especially and it's funny to watch MasterChef Junior because it's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Is like the producer and all of that jazz. So seeing him with kids is really funny because he's just so much more gentle with everything.
He's so much, yeah.
Until like last night's episode we watched, or the episode from this last week, they went to camp. So each team had to cook a chicken meal for 51 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
So, well, it is, but so there's 8 kids on each team sort of thing cooking. Yeah. So if you get everybody on stations and doing their jobs properly, you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You also have to come up with the menu. All you have to do is include chicken. So what kind of chicken do you make? And remember, you're not cooking for 51 kids. And here's the part where you just laugh. Well, here's the part where you laugh at, like, the MasterChef Junior kids is because they've been cooking for so long.
Yeah.
They've forgotten what kids actually like to eat. And not all of them. So there's the voice of reason that goes, let's do barbecue chicken because who doesn't love barbecue chicken? And they're like, what are we doing for a vegetable? And they're like, to heck with vegetables. It's warm outside. We're barbecuing. Kids hate veggies.
Yep.
And this is from, like, one of the kids is sitting there, and they're like, well, we have to do a vegetable. He's like, we're not, like, no. And it's like, and if we're barbecuing chicken, then let's do corn.
Yeah.
And you're like, someone's thinking.
Yeah.
So they did corn, potatoes,
which
it's a starch more than a veggie, but either way. So they did corn, potatoes, and just barbecued chicken.
Yeah.
And before they could get their chicken served to anybody, it ended up Gordon checked it, and like the chicken they were ready to serve was raw.
Oh, of course.
So then he lit up because that's his piece. Is like, you want to kill a bunch of these kids, like, because that's what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Smarten up and get your, junk together.
Yep. Don't kill people.
So then they kind of got their stuff going, but they lost 10 votes because they had to, they sent the first 10 kids up and they had no chicken.
They had no chicken.
Yeah.
So they moved them on and they lost 10 votes out of 51.
Big portion.
And the other team decided to do fried chicken.
Okay.
Solid
choice.
Process. Swiss chard.
Okay.
And I forgot what else, but my wife and I are sitting there going, who feeds Swiss chard to kids you've lost. You've now lost. Oh, baked beans. Baked beans.
Oh, baked beans.
Baked beans, Swiss chard, and fried chicken. And I'm like, the beans I get. With the fried chicken, I can understand where you're going. You throw macaroni on that plate, we're done. You've won. Congrats.
Yeah.
You throw mac and cheese on that plate, done.
What's Swiss chard?
It's a green. It's like they made a salad out of it. It's usually red stem with green thick leaves. You have to cook it.
Okay.
Like you can't even serve it raw. You cook Swiss chard. So like there's a lump of green goop with brown goop essentially for the baked beans. And a piece of fried chicken, and then one kid gets to the thing who's supposed to be eating it and opens up his chicken, and it's pink.
Oh, gosh.
So then Gordon Ramsay goes over and, like, hollers at that team.
Yep.
Until they get things right. Either way, the team that fed kids food they actually wanted to eat ended up winning. So the
first one.
Yeah, the first team.
First team.
And it's that thought process of, even though you like food and are a foodie,
you have to cater to.
You still have to know who you're serving to, and that's that piece where, you know.
Makes sense.
That's why Gordon Ramsay's Gordon Ramsay, because dude still appreciates a burger.
Yeah.
And he knows that, like, on a burger, it doesn't have to be very much. You can put cheese on a burger and, like, a nice little sauce.
Ketchup, yeah.
And be done with it.
Ketchup's a sauce.
Well, he makes a fancy ketchup. Like, he can't just serve ketchup because he's Gordon Ramsay. If you're getting ketchup from Gordon Ramsay, it's like fancy ketchup.
Dijon ketchup.
Dijon ketchup. So, yeah, like, that's the big piece of that show that it's kind of fun to watch is you get those kids that go, I am a student of Julia Child's cookbook, and I have been cooking French cuisine for the last, like, 8 years. And it's like, you're 10. It's like, I know. And you're going, you can leave.
You're done.
Oh my God, there's some kids, and then there's the 8-year-old on there who's just like super positivity to the point where you want to push him off something.
Yeah. I know
Like,
people in real life that are like that.
Well, he got a token, so they had to dig around on one episode to find out which teams they were on.
Yeah.
He got a free pass for pretty much the entire episode.
Yeah.
Because they had an odd number of kids, so they couldn't make teams. So he gets a free pass, and the entire time he's sitting there, it's not a big deal, you can do it! As this kid just got lambasted going up to get their food judged.
Oh, God.
And they're going, the flavor's not there. They had to make sliders.
Yeah.
Well, one girl made, like, meatballs instead of an actual patty for her slider. So it didn't cook quite right. Yeah. So, like, Gordon Ramsay's going, your meat's gray, it's overcooked, the sauce isn't good, your bun to, like, meat ratio doesn't work because you made a meatball instead of a slider. He's like, you got to be thinking of these things when we tell you what we want. And this kid's sitting up there, it's all good, everything's gonna be just fine. And this girl's like,
bawling.
She's holding back tears because she's trying to be a professional 9-year-old. You know, in front of Gordon Ramsay, you don't want to sit there going like, I am so sorry, because then he will assault, like, he'll attack. Yeah. So she's holding it together as best she can, and then, there's this kid from the balcony who doesn't even have to compete going like, it's all good. And you're like,
you're fine.
Go away.
Go away, child. So, it's cool what they can do. It's amazing to see these kids cook. Again, like, they have to do lobster at one point, and you're going,
wow, I can't do lobster.
They had to kill the lobster, like the whole 9 yards.
You just throw it in the water.
Yeah, no, you
actually
water.
No, you actually stab it in the head first. And
then you got to turn the head off. You don't have to like.
No, they did. Stab in head and then like proceed blade forward to front of head and that and then throw it in water.
Yeah, throw it in water.
So either way, that's what I've been up to.
That's
watching
kids.
Watch kids murder lobsters.
Why I can't cook lobster.
No, I would never. I couldn't do that.
Hear the scream.
Well, no, not if you stab it in the head first. If you're just gonna boil it, you're gonna hear it go.
You're killing me.
Pretty much.
I
can't cook lobster.
See, I did watch Sabrina.
First episode.
Excellent. I didn't get that far into the season.
Okay.
It's a stellar show.
Yeah. I rewatched. Yeah, we talked about it, so I figured.
Sure. Unless you don't
it's
like
been a couple weeks.
No, I like it. It's very like there's something like I feel like that's not her. She's acting quite different than season 1.
That'll flip flop. You'll notice.
Okay.
There's a reason.
And then I rewatched the whole series Avatar: Last Airbender. Oh, so good.
The cartoon.
So good. Yes.
The movie.
There's no movie. The movie.
It's a glorious film.
They never made the movie.
One of M. Night Shyamalan's best. From someone who's never really watched the cartoon.
Oh gosh, it was such an awful movie. Anyways, The cartoon was
So
fantastic.
do I watch the movie before or after the cartoon?
I think the movie comes
There is
before
no
the
movie
cartoon.
to watch. There is no movie to watch.
The movie's the
There's
precursor to the
nothing.
cartoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's
good to know.
Definitely
to
watch
watch.
the movie
Good to know.
first.
You will never watch a movie about it because there is no movie that exists. Stupid.
I haven't seen the movie. I've seen an episode.
It's on my wish list.
I've seen an
or
episode of the
it's
show.
on my list on Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen an episode
Not
of the
the
show.
not the movie.
The show.
So
Yeah.
the show itself, like, the first episode is obviously catered to children. But as it goes on through the show, it gets so much more deep and in
Mature.
depth, and I wouldn't even mature. They still have their funny quips and stuff, but it gets so much more like talks about wisdom and life and death, and it's just
Mature.
oh, it's so good.
What happens with maturity? You get wiser.
Some people do.
Clearly, Nick is not at
Yeah.
that point.
And the art
Still
style
got
gets so
another
much
4
better.
days.
The art just gets so
and that
good.
is wise.
Yeah,
I've got the wisdom part down. The maturity piece is still,
it's still working
it's
on it.
lagging behind.
But again, my favorite thing about this show is how they actually draw out the different styles of martial arts.
Oh yeah.
So every different like culture has their own martial arts style for bending.
Fire,
different elements?
water,
And it's
earth.
so cool. Yes.
Heart.
Heart.
I can't remember the fourth one.
Heart.
Wind,
So it's air,
earth.
water, earth, and fire.
Heart.
Got it.
We are Captain
Good
Planet.
powers.
You're a tree.
Dark
You're a
shield.
tree. You're a tree. You're a tree. You're a tree. 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 Tree.
Thanks for wrecking
Great show. Highly recommend. I know you only tried.
I'll try again.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the movie first.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
Maybe that's my problem.
Don't ever watch the movie. There's no movie.
I watch the movie first.
It will
and
make
then-
it will definitely help.
I don't know how
with
that kid got a
understanding
job.
it. It would definitely help understanding it.
Yeah, I think the movie would help me comprehend what's going on.
Tony's not here to help you.
I
so-
know.
No,
You're on your own on this
Tony.
one.
Tony. Then I rewatched. I'm gonna tell all the things I rewatched. I rewatched Blood Diamond. That's on Netflix now. The one with Leonardo
Yeah,
DiCaprio and Digimon
Why are you
Hans.
rewatching?
Huh?
Why did you rewatch that?
Because it was a good movie. It's a really good movie.
It was a movie.
But Conflict Diamond.
That was a movie.
Nick disagrees with you.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Discuss.
Yeah, I think Leo
What was
did a
good
great
about
job. Leo did a great job. Digimon Hansu did a great job. What's her name was in that movie?
That's a
Jennifer
good-
Connelly.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I would not rewatch it. I don't know.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It's just not one
But
I
Conflict
agree.
Diamonds.
I know what it's about. I watched it.
Spoilers.
It's about
I
diamonds.
haven't seen it. So.
It's about blood diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, there's another thing because the diamond is pink, so it's like they all talk about how much like death and blood there is in Africa, and that's why the soil's red. This diamond has a bit of a
Is it
pink
though?
tinge to it. No, that's not
It
why.
is
It's because of
PEI, but that's not from death.
higher iron content. I'm
It's yeah,
assuming.
it's iron content. That's why potatoes grow better in PEI than anywhere else.
Yeah, and the iron's not from blood. You do have iron in your blood. I don't think it's from the iron.
We'll find
Anyways.
out.
Yeah.
Then I watched The Silence.
Oh,
So this
I
is
heard that was
like-
a poor man's.
This is like Netflix's version of The Quiet Place.
Yeah,
he was telling me
it was
about
a
this
poor
one.
man's version of that.
And it is nowhere as good as The Quiet Place. The acting. So Sabrina is the girl who acts as Sabrina's in it, and so is Stanley Tucci.
Oh, so it has people.
Yeah. Honestly, Sabrina doesn't act that great in this movie.
Is she younger or older? Or like same age as
Same
Sabrina?
age.
Oh.
But, so
Because I was gonna say she was in Mad Men, and it took her a
Oh,
long
right.
time to pick up as an actress in that show.
yeah. The premise of this movie is really, really stupid. So
Are there monsters that attack you if you make noise?
Yes.
Well, that's the same premise as The Quiet. So the
No.
premise isn't dumb.
But the monsters are terribly designed because these monsters are like bats.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler. You see them like right
No,
away.
I'm more worried about spoilers for the Quiet Place. But
Oh, I won't say anything about the Quiet Place. But they're bats, okay? Apparently they don't smell, they don't see, they just hear.
Okay.
And at one point in the movie, they do a really good job of killing these things by turning on a wood chipper. Makes a lot of noise. They fly in. They all die.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why isn't the rest of the world doing this?
Because the rest of the world's not smart.
Not everybody has wood chippers like Canada, man.
Or at least create some sort of trap
It's
that makes
natural
loud noise
selection.
and just kills these things. So I don't know how these
selection,
things
Brian.
are prolified around the entire world.
Are they
and no one can kill
aliens?
them. No. They lived in a cave that accidentally got released. So
course.
apparently, like, billions of these things lived in a cave. I don't know how.
Which
because
one?
they
The old
didn't say.
90s trope of we opened up a hole somewhere
Yes.
and something came out.
Something
of it.
came out. And apparently there's like billions of them because they're taking away apart the whole world. So it's just
See, without
just
spoiling the
make
quiet
sense.
place,
Yeah.
those monsters hunted human noises.
Yes,
'Cause they're
specifically.
They don't actually go.
We
through.
never got that. Yeah.
But yeah, they don't just go after. Otherwise, yeah, the wood
Yeah.
chipper's a good plot point.
But anyways, and then like just a couple days like after this disaster started, there's already like these cult groups that are formed where they cut out their tongues. It's like it's not just you speaking that causes problems. So
No,
why did
it's
they
every-
cut it?
it's
And why would
everybody's.
you cut out your tongues? And then they're already going to like
You can't walk.
and then they're already like saying like, oh, she's like they talk to Stanley Tucci's daughter, which is Sabrina.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she's fertile.
Oh,
And it's
She's a
like,
what?
she's
guys, it's not like
We're 2 days into the apocalypse, and you are
and
already.
you're worried about
We're
fertility.
giving up. We're good.
So
We're setting in.
just a lot of stupid things happen that really, and I don't care if I spoil it because this movie sucks.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Well, now I wanted to watch.
I'm sorry. Stanley Tucci, I love Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
It's just this movie was shitty,
Well,
and I'm gonna be vocal about it.
I like Stanley Tucci.
Acting
This is
was-
the most excited I've seen you in a long time.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I haven't shown up for a month.
I talk to you still.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's just very. He wants to advocate against this film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch Quiet Place. Don't watch The Silence.
Yeah. So exactly what I heard is
Yeah.
it's a poor version of The Quiet.
Was this
Yes.
produced by Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
But
They
this
were
was
trying
in
to-
production. Like this was in production before
Well-
The Quiet Place was released. I think The Quiet Place started its production before this one.
I get that.
So
But
Unless they're going with a thing with Netflix where it's
hear
different.
no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, sort of thing.
yeah. And then they want to make it a universe.
So the next one is no talking.
Well, this one was kind of that one too, though.
Okay, so she's blind. So see.
Smell, don't fart.
I feel like this one would be the hear no evil because you got to stay quiet.
Yeah.
So the next one you have to yell all constantly. Constantly, everybody has to yell or
Yelling.
your head explodes.
No, it's a smell. That's the
That's
demons or whatever.
There's
it
not
is.
one of the monkeys.
Yeah, the
it?
monkeys one.
They're going by senses.
I get what. So that there's gonna be it's gonna be a 5-part film. Gotcha. Taste.
So they did that.
Yeah.
And
They did
special
sight, they did
sequels.
hearing.
The Sixth Sense.
They got new nose,
Yeah.
so don't fart
All right. No farting. Deadly
Don't eat.
farts. Don't taste things.
because you don't know what's in the food.
We'll just write these for you, Netflix.
Yeah, we can bang
What's
these
the-
out in a
You
an
can't-
hour.
You can't feel anything.
If you feel another person, you die. Makes procreating real hard.
You lean over.
It's like fish.
So don't watch this.
I don't recommend it. If you want to see it, you can see it.
I'm not
but
gonna watch it.
I don't recommend it.
No.
What was it? Sabrina's aunt is in this as well, so they're like
Which aunt? She's got 2.
Aunt Z,
Okay.
that actress. I don't remember her
The lady
name.
who
Sorry.
played Eowyn
Yes.
in Lord of the
yes,
Rings.
in Lord of the Rings.
I know which one.
Yeah.
I did not recognize her in Sabrina.
I thought you didn't recognize the.
No, I knew the other one. Tony didn't recognize her from
Okay,
Shaun of the Dead.
That's what it was.
I knew
Oh,
her.
I didn't know where she was from.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. She's
Oh.
the blonde.
All right.
The ones that ran after her boyfriend
Yeah.
in the crowd, and somehow makes it out alive.
She's actually the perfect Aunt Hilda. Like
She is such a
she's supposed to be
great-
the Caroline. If you want to go back to like Sabrina that we knew with Melissa Joan Hart,
Yeah.
she was the
Not so smart one.
not so smart. Yeah, she was the
Yeah.
Caroline Ray of the 2 aunts.
Yeah.
It's
I like
perfect
her as
casting.
yeah.
Yeah.
They did a great job for Sabrina.
Either
Next thing I watched on Netflix was Diablero.
Diablero.
Yeah, it is a Spanish supernatural kind of thing, but it's specifically
Subtitles?
targeting demon. Yes, subtitles.
There
It's
it goes.
good. It's a good show so far.
You watched a wider range of stuff.
Yeah,
You
no
watched a
kidding.
wide range of stuff.
I just started watching.
You either love it or you hate it.
Well, I was supposed to be doing my floors, and I don't like ripping up linoleum, so I just started watching.
Start
things on-
procrastinating.
Yes, and I really need to work on my floors. But I watched Diablero. Yeah, it was good.
Diablero. All
So
right.
Diablero is the name of someone who hunts down demons.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was like another name for the devil.
It's like Devil Junior or something, yeah.
yeah.
Or for Diablo.
I am Diablo. I am Diablero!
The miniature version.
Yeah.
So the series starts off with a priest who does have he didn't know he had a daughter in a previous life. Not like another life, like before he became a priest.
Before he became a man of the cloth.
Yes. He did have a daughter with a woman who was killed by a demon, and now his daughter is gone. So
Alright.
they have to find his daughter. So he's trying to locate this daughter through the police. Police won't help him. So one of the nurses at the hospital find like, hey, you should check out a Diablero. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
We'll assume you will.
yeah. So they go start hunting
Culturally
demons.
offending people since 1992.
So they go
on
find
the
start to
show's
hunt demons. Yeah.
92?
Yeah, yeah.
Made me want to watch Supernatural again, though.
It's not on Netflix anymore.
No, it's not.
How am I going to catch up so I can watch the final season?
Yeah.
When it comes on Netflix again.
I want to see if Sam cuts his hair.
Doubt it.
No. I've seen their Instagram. I followed them on Instagram and Twitter.
In the first season, he had like short hair, and then it
Because
just
he
kept
came
growing.
from Gilmore Girls.
And grew and grew and grew and grew, and it never cut.
Well, he kept it trimmed. It's not like it was down to his butt by the end of the last
So like
season.
it just got longer.
That's where his power
Inch
is.
every day.
Yeah.
For every season.
Yeah. Diablero.
Diablero.
I really like it.
But there's subtitles.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish.
But I don't know
I think at
Spanish.
one point someone speaks Korean. I just can't tell the difference.
Between Spanish and Korean?
I have never heard Korean in my
So how do you know it's Korean then if you haven't heard it?
because they are Korean. Like they go to a Korean like demon shop.
Did it say Korean demon shop? on
Yes.
But in subtitles, so it's actually in Spanish.
Well, they
Translated.
say these people are Korean, and I think at one point they speak Korean because it didn't sound Spanish, but I'm not sure because maybe they were just speaking Spanish really fast.
I'm confused.
Right.
But anyways,
So the show Fresh Off the Boat had Eddie, the main character, go on a cultural exchange to Taiwan.
oh yeah,
And while he's in Taiwan, one of the guys from Kim's Convenience, the CBC show, did a cameo appearance, and he was like this street vendor that ends up helping Eddie out. And so someone online made a really good joke that it was the Chinese guy trying to be a Korean guy is now on the show where the Korean guy is pretending to be a Chinese guy, but now playing a Chinese guy.
Alright.
Because the
Awesome.
dad on Fresh Off the Boat is Chinese,
Yeah.
but he's Korean, but the family in Fresh Off the Boat's Chinese.
Okay.
So he's a Korean playing a Chinese person, and Fresh Off the Boat, the actor is a Chinese guy playing a Korean.
Alright.
Awesome.
Pretty fun little mixed world thing. Mixing of shows.
And I did watch Split as well.
Yeah.
We talked
Good
about
movie.
that. Good movie. I just got to see Glass now.
Yeah. I
You
know
can get
that.
all three on Google Play Music for
Or
like $24.
just once again
Or
borrow
Google
it
Play
from
Movies.
someone
Or
who
borrow
is
it.
a
Yeah.
huge blockbuster.
Buy you a sign for your house. one day.
Yeah. The Chris.
Wow.
The second last blockbuster.
Yeah.
'Cause
So,
there's-
still
there's
have a
still
membership
one.
card.
Apparently that one's turning profits.
Of course it is. It's the last one.
A lot of profit.
I finished Detroit Become Human as a
Good for
game.
you.
Really,
Would you
really
guys stream it not?
We tried to that
We
one day.
tried.
Then
And
Brian
and
bought
then
it.
I bought it.
Finished it
and
on
I
his
finished
own.
it because it was very intriguing, and I literally liked the gameplay. Then I tried to go to Beyond Two Souls.
Mhm.
The graphics are so much less
Good.
good.
Because
But
I
that
think it
makes
was one of
sense.
the first ones
Yeah,
that came out
yeah.
on the PS4.
Yeah. So it was hard going that way.
You just have to delve into the story.
Yeah, you just got to get into the story.
You went the wrong way. We should have
I
started
know.
with Heavy Rain and worked our way up.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain was good too.
Except, so I'm going
tie into
like completely
each other.
backwards. I haven't done Heavy Rain yet,
No,
but
it's
I have.
the first one.
Oh, okay.
They don't tie into each other.
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
The graphics are
The
just
only
gonna
thing
get
that
worse and
ties
worse.
is making choices.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Beyond Two Souls did that.
What? There was
Okay.
choices.
Was
There are
it?
choices, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Not a lot, not as many, but still.
Yeah.
If I wanted to throw books at a lady or just startle her with the books.
Startled.
Yes.
That's not what Brian did. He threw the books at me.
Well, I freaked that lady out. I did other
It
things.
startled, all right.
I also threw a chair around.
Wet Willie! No, the quantum
Quantum Dreams.
Quantum Dream. I
Yeah.
think they make some pretty stellar games.
And
I think it's good they don't release like a game a year because that
Yeah.
would get really tiring. But they
Yeah.
do. They spend a
Telltale.
yeah.
Oh.
Legitimately, like it is. These are really well polished Telltale games.
Yeah. And the stories are just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Detroit Become Human, great story. Like, wow. And I honestly, you could probably replay that thing and get a different story out.
Yeah.
You can. That's the point
Yeah,
of these.
that's the point of these games. And it was great.
Yeah, you get different
great.
outcomes depending on.
So, graphics were great. Definitely the guy from Grey's Anatomy, Avery.
Okay.
Yeah, is
sure.
that main character guy.
I'm an ER person. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
I
have
used to
respect
watch
for
Grey's. I
a-
stopped watching.
For a
Grey is the
I used to watch all of like
taking over for
Chicago
ER.
Hope.
till something else does.
Oh no, that's
The medical shows.
Chicago Hope,
Hope.
and then ER.
The
Yeah.
only reason why Chicago Hope is there is because of Chicago Fire and Chicago PD.
I know. But either way, like no, ER.
Oh, Chicago Hope's a different thing.
Yeah, Chicago Hope
Yeah.
was ages ago.
So there's now Chicago Med or
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
Yeah.
Either way, no, Chicago Hope was around, and then ER.
Yeah.
And they kind of competed for a while, and then ER took off.
Yeah.
George Clooney, and then they kept changing their cast, which kept them alive for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then finally, the showrunners like, no, we're done. Like
They
I
got
can't
died.
keep, like I can't keep making.
Yeah.
So they ended the show, and then Grey's Anatomy was coming out as ER was ending.
Yeah.
So it kind of
The people did it there.
people transitioned from one hospital
Yeah.
show to the other, but it was like ER did a good job of making the show about mostly the ER and
Yeah.
little bits about the people outside of the ER.
Yeah.
But it was how their lives affected their job.
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy was from like, because I'm like, I'll try this show because if ER is ending,
Yeah.
I'll take another hospital show. It was about the people and less about the hospital.
Yeah. The first couple seasons were a lot about the medical stuff too.
Yeah.
And then it just went completely like drama. Like,
Yeah, but then I started watching House because
yeah,
because
House was way better.
Yeah.
House was way better. Grey's just
Different type of drama.
started becoming just. So I work in a hospital. No one has that much sex in a hospital.
You don't know that.
You're in the wrong department,
God,
sir.
it's so dirty. Would you want to? No, you would not, because you would catch something that you did not
don't know
want.
that.
Oh boy.
Clearly, Brian's just not having
No, no,
sex at
In the
work.
hospital, yeah. How dare you?
Professional.
Yeah, I have all of House on DVD.
I love House. House is such a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hugh Laurie
Yeah.
on top of, and again, the casting makes a big difference.
Yes.
Because Grey's Anatomy was more of a soap opera, like a late night
It
soap opera.
was such a soap
than-
opera.
And ER started more as a soap opera and became more all of a sudden, because they got better actors.
Yeah.
Not that George Clooney's a good actor, but not back then.
No, yeah, he was still young. He
That
was
was
still
that was the
just starting.
beginning of his career, where
Yeah.
he was the pretty guy, he was the pretty doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dr. Drake Ramore. If you're a Friends fan, that's the show he played.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Drake
Oh
Ramore.
man, that was a good. Friends was a good show too.
It's
Then
on a anniversary year or something because they were asking
Yeah.
Paul Rudd about that one
Yeah.
Were they?
at an interview. Because again, they can't talk about the Marvel
They
movies.
can't talk Marvel.
So they're
What
like,
can you talk about?
well, so they did. They're like, you were on Friends, and it's on its 20th anniversary or something like that. And he goes, "Was that long ago?" And he's like, "It's kind of the same feeling, actually."
Yeah.
Like,
Paul Rudd still looks so young.
I know he hasn't aged.
50, is it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
50.
50, 52, something
He
like
looks
that.
They do. We were just talking. I was talking about that.
But yeah, he said joining the Avengers was kind of like Friends because he came in on season 9 of Friends
Yeah.
as Phoebe's boyfriend. He's
Yeah.
like, you're kind of just there going, oh, okay, Sure, I'll
fall
be.
in line.
Yeah, like I'll stay here as long as you want me to.
to.
But he's like, that's kind of the same thing with the Avengers. Is all of a sudden it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
You're now acting with all these people, and he's just like,
Okay.
okay.
I like
Okay.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
I
we
like
have
that
to
guy.
go up Thanos' butt.
He's not going up Thanos'
Okay,
butt.
not the
If
best.
anything, his ear is a much more like,
We were straight to the brain.
yeah. How are you? You have to get through his pants.
Then you have to
Go
go up
get
some,
through his helmet to get to his ear.
He doesn't wear his helmet anymore because
He
he's
does. Watch the trailer.
I know he's got it.
go up the nose then.
He had his armor on in the last trailers too. I believe nothing from those trailers. Robert Downey Jr. dies in the first 5 minutes.
He's not in this movie at all.
He's not in this movie other than the first 5 minutes where he sends a message to Pepper Potts. Pepper's the one in the Iron Man costume, and I'm done.
I doubt it. Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna cry in this Avengers movie.
I
Cried in
did
the last
last
movie.
one. 3 times.
And the novelization made me tear up again.
This is gonna make me cry more.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I feel like it's gonna be Cap and Tony.
You think they're gonna kill them both?
Yeah.
No.
Ah, killing Cap.
Kill Thor.
Randomly.
But Thor 4.
Yeah. And then they'll make Thor 4.
With Tessa Thompson.
And Loki.
That's why she leaked it, is because she's going to be in it. She's
her
the
and Loki.
lead.
Her and Loki are the leads.
Loki's dead.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
No resurrection.
He has a show
here.
coming out.
Yeah, he's got a whole show coming out.
Set before.
He stabbed with his left hand. It's not actually him. It's a projection.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
He even said no resurrection. He's dead.
Thanos doesn't know
Thanos
everything.
doesn't- yeah, Thanos isn't. Yeah.
Yes, he
He
does.
doesn't. Mm-mm.
Anyways,
I'm replaying Horizon Zero Dawn
Mhm.
because it's a great game.
it is a great
It
game.
was a good game.
And
Some
I
people just delete it.
I think-
Don't play it again.
You want me to play COD? I have to get rid of something else on the PlayStation.
And you chose Horizon.
Yeah, because I wasn't playing it anymore.
Play it.
I don't remember which game stopped me from playing Horizon. I don't know. We were playing something on the PC or something. Don't remember what game.
Satisfactory.
No, it was before that.
Satisfactory didn't pause us from anything.
Yeah. Maybe it was WoW. I don't know.
No, WoW didn't stop us from that. We were out of WoW by
I can't
Horizon.
remember. But anyways, I'm
This
replaying
Horizon
this.
came out
'cause it's
way
such a-
before.
Yeah, but we didn't get it
Yeah.
until much after.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
What up?
What up? I set the settings to ultra hard
Why?
because I've played this before. Maybe I'll
So?
and I've been doing fantastic. I've died less than the last time I played.
That's weird.
He passed extra hard and went back to easy. He
Yeah,
just
probably.
didn't
Yeah,
No,
realize
it's
he
it's
did.
totally ultra hard now,
No.
and it was great. I feel so sad. It's such a satisfying game.
It is a good game.
It is a good game.
Yeah.
I forgot where I got to, and I was just, and then I.
You got gone further than me.
Yeah,
to the
and
desert
then
or
I
something.
was all over the place at one point, and then I was just like, okay, because then I started finding all the tall neck things
Yeah,
to try.
that's what
And,
you do.
Yeah.
The trophies.
well, and I wanted to get the whole map revealed because then it makes the game 8,000 times easier.
It does. Fast
Um,
travel.
Yeah, fast traveling. I do the same thing in Assassin's Creed.
Yes, it took me a while.
Sorry, you're not. You're.
Yeah, thank you,
So thank you to
Alex Pro.
Alex
Pro. I don't know why I stopped playing that one.
I had to. I remember the first time I played, I went to the mindset of this is an action game, and I killed things with my spear, like
Yep.
just by.
I stealthed the whole way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I went back to this, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a stealthy guy.
Yeah, you hide into bushes
Yeah,
and
and that's
tackle
what.
them slowly.
Yeah.
Same with Assassin's Creed.
What was whistling?
I know, I love that. Legitimately, if I'm outside and I hear someone whistle, I'm not gonna be like,
I'm gonna go to investigate this.
I wonder what that was.
with my face.
I'm gonna go check where that sound came from. I'm gonna be like, and proceed to continue
Yeah.
walking.
Well, I can understand the machines because machines are
Weird.
machines.
Sure, because they're
But
gonna
if it's a
respond
person
to
in
stuff,
Assassin's
but-
Creed, yeah.
There's people at Horizon.
Yeah, that's true. They're stupid
Cultists.
people. Yeah. And then because Smash Bros had an update,
I played a little Smash Bros.
Bros.
Did you make a level that was shaped like a phallic object?
no.
Because they all got deleted if you shared them on the
You
app.
kept it to yourself.
Yeah, you can continue
Still got it.
Continue
playing
to play
on your
it.
phallic
Yeah,
object.
so the Smash Bros update had Joker from Persona 5.
Yes.
And or you guys probably talked about this already.
No. Well, we talked about the update coming, but we didn't we didn't know what his moveset was or anything like that, Jess.
I didn't learn him that well yet, so.
Wow, I'm sure it takes a while.
It turns into his thing.
I played one match.
Yeah, and then they had the level builder, which I haven't tried yet either.
It's pretty comprehensive. You can do a lot of cool things with it if you want to spend the time doing it. So it's better than.
Be cool.
It's better than.
Make a BrNN level.
Just spelled BrNN.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
It has our faces in there. But no, still good, great game. Unlocked more characters because I have not unlocked everything like you. I still had so many characters to unlock.
I just gotta stop that.
You have to unlock them all. That's how you have a fighting game. Selection.
Nope, I just always play with young Link.
Well, you had to unlock him at some point.
I did, yeah, I did.
And then if you just keep playing, you keep unlocking people.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
You just stopped playing. That's what happened. You gave up. That's the.
No, there were just so many other good games to play.
All right.
But I'm done now.
Okay.
If you say so.
Yeah. We should play Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Anyways.
That's it.
Cool. Thanks for joining us on the post-credit show. Those are the games we've played, movies, and TV shows we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week for more fun times. You can check out barrelrollnews.com for all of our social media.
With possibly Tony coming back.
I doubt it.
Maybe.
No. 99% sure.
You never know.
I know dates. We're good. Either way, you can join us next week. Check out barrelrollnews.com, social media, and of course, hit that follow, hit that like button, whatever it happens to be.
As Tony would say, smash that button.
Smash that button. Don't smash it. Just hit it once, because if you smash
gently.
it, you might and just gently.
I don't want to break anything.
No, just tap it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.